What is good? Osiris here, back again. And I just want to talk about a tweet from Jamal Bowman. And it looked like an innocent tweet. I follow him on Twitter and I just looked at it. And it's that classic picture of the squad. That's when they were sworn in. It's an old picture from earlier this year when were sworn in. And the ratio looks normal. You see about 1,400 comments, 850 retweets, 7,300 likes. It's normal. So I just kind of clicked in it just to see. And he quoted with it, the last super team left. And I think they're frauds. I have come around on that. But even I did not think anything of the tweet. It was just another worthless tweet from the squad. And I didn't even think of it. And I just kind of clicked in it. Something's off about these quote numbers and these ratio numbers to me. Or they represent a lot of people coming by and liking and not going in to reply. Because this is an odd ratio. When you look at the comments, 9 out of 10 comments are just flaming the squad. Where was this energy when it came to voting as a block in order to prevent more funding for the police? I talked about that in a video. They talk about, I'm not for defunding the police. I'm not a progressive. But they always talk about defunding the police, and then they voted when it was for their job, for their needs. They voted to fund the police. Congrats on the 170K per year. Wow, that's a biting criticism from Nick. Is a Fred Hampton leftist, has a good podcast. They came hard of them. How are y'all different than any other Democrats? Your dependable votes for the establishment. The gig's up. That's what this means is the gig is up. For those who don't follow this side of the aisle, let me just break it down basic for you. This group right here, they are labeled by many as progressives, meaning they are supposed to be left of the establishment. And I did a video on what is the establishment. What we have learned is it seems like the job they are doing, it's as if the establishment used them to make it look like they were going left, and they have just done pretty much nothing but the bidding for the establishment. They have done nothing in probably 2 years since AOC first came to DC to shake anything up. They haven't built any relationships that help them on the progressive side. They've built relationships that help the establishment, like Nancy Pelosi and those who fund her, Big Pharma, all that. So progressives who some of them put in money, blood, sweat, and tears to support them on the campaigns, there's no love. Just go through this tweet yourself. Search Jamal Bowman. I'll put a link in the comments. Last super team left. Look through the comments. They're just getting flamed. How are you a team when you don't vote as a block? So they're getting it from both the left and the right in here. We love you people. Okay, so here's a good one. We love you people. Thank heaven for all of you. You keep us going. And that comment got ratioed. Something doesn't look to me, something's not right about the ratios of that original tweet. It's unusual. So if the ratio for that original tweet was accurate, someone posting love for the squad wouldn't have gotten ratioed like this to me. Keep hoping, because that's the best you're gonna ever get. They sure do deliver on manufactured hope and endless tweets. What happens is they have not passed any substantive law. So they keep doing these tweets like, what would Medicare for all mean to you and your family? And at first people were like, oh, it's kind of cool. But like after 100 times of doing those type of tweets, the poor, they call it poverty porn tweets, people have had enough of them. And now they call them the tweet squad. This whole thing, look at this, memes. We ran on Medicare for all, now we don't talk about it. I've talked about Medicare for all more than they have. I'm not a progressive. This is very odd. The gig's up. I don't think they can keep on doing this. What would a present vote mean for you and your family? That's in reference to them coordinating their vote to make sure that the funding for the Capitol Hill police went through. That bill went through, at least in the House. No health care, no living wage, no meaningful debt cancellation. I'm not for the debt cancellation is a very complicated topic. I am for a minimum wage. That's a no-brainer. And I am for Medicare for all. No health care, no living wage, no meaningful debt cancellation, just wasted opportunities at a time when we can't afford it, but more money to the police and mm, public option fades with little outcry from progressives. Whew. They're talking about the domestic violence, threats, anti-government, anti-authority. So these bills that not only attack the right, they attack anybody outside the establishment. You would think progressives would be against it, but they are. As Comrade Misty puts it, sarcasm, stardust, super useless. She has a great podcast on YouTube. This is they're all negative. We saw one positive. We could only hope fewer people fall for this lie. With our powers combined, we can vote as a bloc when it comes to funding the police. Where is your receipts? Wow. Fraud squad. Team controlled opposition. They're getting destroyed on Twitter. This is meaningful. I know this does mean something. A lot of their advantage has been on social media. I'm wondering how much of this carries over into person. Can they speak and rally? When Bernie was running for president last in the primary, AOC came up on stage and rallied people. Can she still rally people like that? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think she will be able to get on stage and rally people, not with the same effectiveness as she used to. The left is done, the far left is done with her. And she's the face of this whole group. I find America's team beyond super. Being progressive isn't progressive if you don't work with others to move agendas through for everyone in America. Here are my progressive team players for democracy. Um, so I don't agree with, oh, this is what he's doing there. You know, that's an interesting tweet because I think she's making the same point that I make is that you have to work with people. You have to, it's not good enough to just say I'm progressive and they're not even fighting for anything, but you fight for stuff and you don't get anything passed. Then what are you good for? I did that video on Marjorie Taylor Greene. I called it virtue signaling. And that's all they do. It's the same, just on the left. This one, I'm going to end on this one. This one takes the cake. That might be the thumbnail. Whoa. Not Nancy is laughing her ass off. She's a boss. Like she sees that and she's laughing in private. I guarantee you she is laughing her ass off. They haven't done one thing as a block to support anything. Wow. Let me know what you think if you have supported them. At one point, I said Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez could be president of the United States. This is before the pandemic. When's the last time I said that? Probably a year and a half to 2 years ago. And now I'm calling her a fraud. So I've changed. I think she's changed, but I didn't realize how much of her energy was just anti-Trump energy. It wasn't anti-establishment, it was anti-Trump. And she's still trying to bring that up, like you saw what happened with her, Matt Walsh and her abuela. She blamed Trump for Puerto Rico and brought up Trump for no reason, still bringing him up and not holding Joe Biden anywhere near. I can tell they're the same party, so you can't hold them to the same account, but you could hold them to more, accountability than they are now. This is something. You tell me, if am I crazy? Does this not mean anything? I don't think they have the social media advantage they used to. Let me know what you think. Take care.